One of the best ways to start is, let's think about you're planning a trip to Vegas, right? The first thing you might want to go do is find which hotel you would want to stay at. One of the nice things about this is, so let's go pick resorts. Let's just sort by name so I can find the ones I want to find. And let's say I want to go stay at Caesar's Palace, right? If I look at this, I can tap this and make a hotel a favorite or not. So let's make that a favorite. But one of the nice things is we have 33,000 and counting podcast and video clips about all these different businesses in the app. So if you're picking a resort to stay, one of the nice things you want to know is, what does a resort look like? And then what do the rooms look like? So the first two are actually the best video we could find on the resort, the property itself. And the second one is the best video we could find on the room, right, that's out there. And then, of course, the newest, whatever the newest podcast or video somebody put out there is there. But then there's hundreds more if you want to learn about that stuff that's in there. I could get all the parking and valet and Uber directions, everything that's all built in there. And I could see even sister properties that are like that. But let's make Caesar's a favorite. Let's go back and say, okay, I'm looking for an activity. And let's say that I've got a 5-year-old, right? So I want to come in and I want to look for an activity, and I'm going to go say, look for anything. But let's say drive and ride. That's a fun category. I could look for bungee jumps, roller coasters, zip lines. Let's pick zip lines. If I pick a zip line, I can even set an age filter and say I have a 6-year-old. Now what it's going to do is it's going to sort by distance or by name and show me the ones that are okay for my 6-year-old, right? So let's say I want to go to Slotzilla. If I pick Slotzilla, right, I can go look at that whole thing. I can look at another podcast and video, and there's a bunch more clips that are all built in. Notice that if it's a long one, wherever they start talking about that is where it'll play. So it'll play that podcast right where they start talking about Slotzilla at that point in the podcast, right? So I can go back. I can get turn-by-turn directions to that place. I can even get Uber, one-button Uber. That's in the app, and Lyft will be in the app by the time you probably see this. One of the nice features is I can tap set near, because let's say we're going to go there, but then we want to find stuff near somewhere else. It's one of the things that's hard to do in existing apps. So if I tap set near, then let's go back and look for eat and drink. And I can pick anything. I mean, Chris, do you have a favorite kind of food?
Italian.
Okay, so let's look for Italian food that's near the Slotzilla zip line, sorted by distance, and you can see whatever is there. So let's go, I want to go to the Adamano Steakhouse or whatever that is. I want to look at it. All the menus are all built in. I can see all that, or I could go look at more podcasts that somebody's reviewed this thing and talked about it, right?
Nice.
What does it cost to park? You know, all those things are all built in. Then you might say, well, let's go back. That's a good one. Let's go back to eat and drink, and let's look for Italian food. But let's say, I don't want to eat near Slotzilla. We're staying at Caesar's, so let's look for stuff that's near Caesar's, right? So I want to look for Amalfi, nice Italian restaurant there. If it's inside a resort, I might want to know, what does it cost to park there? All the parking's built in. I might want to know where it is. I can even tap on it, and it'll show me where the place is located inside the resort.
There's few places that have this, and you can get lost in these resorts. In fact, they're made that way, actually. 25
of the 50 largest resorts in the world are in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Right? And this feature right now is on the iPhone, and it'll be within a couple weeks, it'll be out on Android, right? So it's been something we've been working on for years, but you can find anything near anywhere, right? And it just makes it very, very simple and easy. You can look at things at a map view. So here's all Italian restaurants on a map view, right?
Crap.
I could go look for certain things. So let's say that I want to look for coffee, right? So I search for coffee. The app will say, we have a coffee and chain category. Here's some popular chains. I want to see every Starbucks in town. And with one button, there's all the Starbucks.
Crap. That's a lot of Starbucks.
I tap one and say, I want to see all the ones that are open right now. Those are all the ones that are open now. I want to see them in a list view instead of a map view. Sorted by distance, let's go near me.
Wow.
Shows the closest one near me right now.
VegasNearMe at work.
Yep. And so it's what's nice about it is just everything's in it, So I could go to shows and events, and I could look for major events, and I could look for the Raiders game, right? That's just, everything is in the app. Anything you can think of.
There you go. And I like it from the aspect of, like, with Yelp, they have some reviews and you never can trust half of them. But you guys have where the podcasts guys have gone in, they've reviewed it, and they kind of give you a personal feel for what the place is like and the food. And I think that's really cool to pretty much cover everything in Las Vegas for the most part. Huh?
Oh yeah, it has everything. I mean, and the amount of data, it's almost stunning. I mean, you just pick anything you can think of, any restaurant, any activity, and it's all built in, right? And like, I want to find every dispensary in town this fast. I can look at all the dispensaries and I can find them all on a map, right?
There you go. That's a lot of dispensaries.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
Those are open now, right? But you can find them all. They're all pretty much open right now.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. I can even check the weather, by the way.
Oh.
So with one button, that'll show the weather with sunrise and sunset time. And I can even look and say, okay, what's the forecast for tomorrow? Or say, well, wait a minute, I'm coming to Vegas, I don't know, March 15th. What's historical weather? And then I might go, well, wait a minute, on March 15th, I wonder what the biggest shows and events are going on in town, sorted by size, that are near me. And okay,
wow.
I want to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's coming on April 1st. It's sorted by date from wherever you pick, right?
Nice.
But you can find that stuff, and I can even look at seat maps.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a seat map of Allegiant.
You can plan your whole Vegas trip through this.
Yep, and buy tickets.
And buy tickets. There you go.
Right from within the app,
Yeah,
right?
Which is important because, buying the tickets for whatever
Yep.
show you're going
Yep.
to, the O Show or the Beatles.
They're all in there.
So this is really cool.
There's no other tool really that shows everything in Vegas nicely organized. And if you think about that, it's because the resorts themselves don't have motivation to do that, right? Caesars is only going to show you their stuff, right? MGM is only going to show you their stuff. What we decided is we wanted to have everything here. So discovery is a big deal. And no matter what you're looking for, you can go find it. And the second big problem we found was location. Like we mentioned before, it's really hard to find this stuff, right? So we've been working on maps to be able to physically locate all these activities and get there. The other big issue I really like to talk about is just usability. It's really important to me that the app is easy to use whether you're 8 or 80. You know what I mean? Just it's really simple and easy to use. Let's go to Wild and Crazy, right? And I'll just sort by name and find stuff. Some of the stuff that you can do here that you would have no idea, like Camel Safari. I mean, who would know that you could ride camels in the desert, right? But sure enough, you can, right? I mean, it's like dive with sharks, swim with sharks, dig this. You rent big land moving equipment, right, and run it all around. It's just crazy. Some of the stuff that's here.
Yeah.
Gunship helicopters. This one's one of my favorites. You can actually shoot a machine gun out of the side of a helicopter. Love Cloud. I mean, this guy's got a plane with a bed in the back, right? And that's his whole business, is fly you up over the city to join the Mile Club, right? The amount of stuff that's here that you would have no idea is just, it's comical. But again, with all these podcasts and videos, it's like Omega Mart is one of the most amazing places, but how would you describe that? Well, the best thing to do is go watch a video on it, right? Yeah. And there's just a ton of things like that are all built in.
People can just plan and book their whole trip. They don't have to be in Vegas to use the app. You can do it from the road and plan your whole trip, make their wife happy, get the right places, and make yourself happy. The car things are really crazy, where you can go rent a car for the day.
Yep.
And go up on the racetracks. I need to do that.